Green Bay Packers. The Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers for the first time since, 2007?
I think 2005, right?
2005, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway for me, and this isn't a bad thing necessarily, but this, to me, their free agency, which they never really do, so you can't really count that. But, letting a lot of guys leave, and then their draft class, to me, I like Lucas Van Ness as a player. I think he's going to be a good player. Anyway, the point for me is this is a class that says we are not trying to win in 2023. We're not trying to lose, but we're not focused on winning in 2023. This is a developmental offseason for our entire roster. We obviously have some old players like Dave Bakhtiari, but a lot of young players now with two big draft classes, with, of course, the extra draft capital last year for Devontae Adams. And again, getting the New York Jets pick here in the second round. It just screams to me of we're not super duper confident in our contending status in 2023. We're going from a Hall of Famer to Jordan Love. So let's just get a bunch of dudes that we can develop as we always do in Green Bay, and see if we're good in 2024 and beyond.
Yeah, free agency, almost nothing happened. The move there was trading away Aaron Rodgers. And to be honest, that might be my favorite move because they won. They won the negotiations again. Like in this world of people are using this after the compensation came out to say, well, obviously the Packers had the leverage, between the two teams. I still maintain that neither side had any leverage. The Jets just blinked first. Like Green Bay just went, it was a negotiation where neither team had any kind of leverage whatsoever because everybody needed it to happen. But the Jets were the team that ran out of patience and blinked before the draft, whereas the Packers won the game of chicken. So I guess that's my favorite move is that they didn't blink, they got the deal done, and they ended up getting an absolute haul for a guy that they absolutely needed to get out of the building once everyone had decided this was something that needed to happen.
No, I completely agree. I mean, even in the nitty-gritty of the details, I think getting the future second-round pick in 2024, the conditions only being tied to Rodgers' snaps of 65% or higher is a huge win. We heard rumors of tie it to a playoff appearance or tie it to how many games they win or whatever. They could go 7-10 in a gauntlet AFC, but as long as Rodgers is playing and there's no chance they're going to bench him or anything like that, you get that first-round pick from the Jets next year. It was a good offseason. It's just... And I know everyone freaks out at me about this. Look, the Jordan Love conversation, the only reason it ended where it was, the first thing that happens is Green Bay says, we don't want to pick up your $20 million fifth-year option. Right. Therefore, that's how the conversation starts. You don't take a significant discount if that's not how it starts. So, look, I could be proven wrong. You mentioned I'm a Bears fan. I'm sure Jordan Love will be hanging. Will be going into Canton in 18 years from now if I have any luck. But the deal he agreed to is one that, to me and to Jason Fitzgerald and a lot of contract analysts, says, we don't have a ton of faith in this guy. We'll see what we have. We have extra draft capital next year if we got to replace him, and we can get out of this contract fairly cleanly. We just didn't want to leave ourselves in a Daniel Jones situation where we're facing down a franchise tag or an extension. But yeah, anyway, long answer short, this just screams to me we're hitting the reset button a little bit, and we're going to see what we have going forward.
I like their draft generally. I was lower on Lucas Van Ness and other people, but it's fine. That's kind of where he was expected to go anyway. But I really like their approach of let's just keep hammering. We want 2 or 3 positions to come in and contribute in significant ways year one. So let's double and triple up at those positions and make sure we're getting that nailed. So Luke Musgrave in the second round. They come back Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State in the third round. Hopefully, between the two of them, we'll get a contributing tight end. Wide receiver, Jaden Reed in round 2, kind of attacks a missing skill set from that wide receiver class or wide receiver room that they have anyway, but they're not done. Like 5th round, Dontavian Wicks, 7th round, Grant Dubose, they're going to try and make sure that there's a wide receiver coming from this draft class that makes some kind of impact. And then obviously they get Chris's guy, Anthony Johnson Jr., the safety in the 7th round, who obviously Chris loved, but there's other people out there, like Ben Fennell is saying this guy could start year one. This is somebody that could legitimately contribute, and whatever reason, the NFL did not see him as that kind of guy. That's why he slid that far. But if Chris and everybody else is right, that's potentially an absolute steal. So overall for Green Bay, we ended up giving them a B+ for their draft, a C- for free agency, which feels a little harsh because, okay, they didn't do anything. On the other hand, they did win that trade with the Jets. all of that shakes out to an overall B- offseason for the Packers.